It is 6:15 on a Wednesday morning, and Mark is standing in his kitchen in his running gear. Proper gear, not the old stuff, the good trainers. He looks ready. He is ready. He has been ready for about 12 minutes now, which is, it turns out, slightly too long to be ready without actually leaving. He has got his phone out, and instead of opening the door, he is scrolling back through his running app to 3 weeks ago when he was on a streak. 5 days. 5 consecutive days, which for a 43-year-old man with 2 kids in secondary school and a full-time job is not nothing. It was, if he is honest, the best he had felt in a while, and then his back went a bit. He took 2 days off, and now it is Wednesday, and the app is telling him, with the kind of cheerful indifference only technology can manage, that his current streak is 0 days. He puts the phone in his pocket, opens the front door, looks at the street, closes the front door, puts the kettle on, tells himself he will go this evening. He will not go this evening. Right, I am John. I have got 2 sons, and that is fundamentally why I make these videos. Not because I have got it sorted, genuinely the opposite. I started making these because I kept thinking about all the things I wish someone had just told me earlier. Not lectured me, just told me, before I had to figure them out the slow way. And one of the slowest lessons I have ever learned is the one this video is about. Because I have been Mark more times than I am comfortable admitting, and I suspect quite a few of you have as well. So, Mark. Mark is not a man who does not try. That is important. He is not lazy, he is not in denial, he is not sitting on the sofa eating crisps and refusing to engage with the idea that things could be different. He tries, genuinely, regularly even. He just has a very specific problem, which we will get to. 3 weeks before that Wednesday morning, Mark had started something real. Not a grand announcement, not a new program purchased on a Sunday evening in a moment of slightly wine-fueled ambition. Just a thing he was doing. Early mornings, changed a few habits, cut out the biscuits mostly. He was not telling anyone because he did not want to jinx it, which is a very male way of protecting yourself from your own optimism. And it was working. He felt better. Not dramatically, not transformation documentary better, but genuinely, quietly, noticeably better. More energy by mid-afternoon, sleeping properly. The kind of thing where you catch yourself thinking, oh, right, this is what normal is supposed to feel like. Then his daughter got ill. Nothing serious, one of those winter viruses that arrives on a Tuesday and turns the whole house sideways for a few days. Sleep went to pieces. The early mornings disappeared. He missed 4 days. 4 days, which is, by any reasonable measure, not very long at all. But here is what happened in Mark's head. By the time his daughter was better and the house had settled, the rhythm had gone. He told himself he would pick it back up at the weekend. The weekend arrived and felt like the wrong kind of day to restart. Sunday is not a proper start day. Everyone knows that. So he decided he would go again on Monday. Fresh start, clean slate. And he made one more small decision that felt completely sensible at the time. Instead of carrying on from where he had stopped, he decided to redo week 1 of the program. Because a clean start is better, more structured. Week 1 was, it is worth mentioning, genuinely the hardest week. The one where everything aches. Mark has now done it 4 times. He is extraordinarily well prepared to begin. 6 weeks later. Different blip, same pattern. Work this time. A brutal run of early starts and late finishes. And the kind of fortnight where you eat whatever is nearest and sleep feels like a rumour. By the end of it, the thread was gone again, and this time Mark did not even do the Monday calculation. He just said he would get back to it when things settled down. Things do not settle down. They never settle down. This is the settled. The illness and the work deadline and the thing at the weekend and the week that ran away from him, this is not a temporary disruption to his real life. This is his real life. And somewhere in the back of his mind, Mark sort of knows that. He just has not quite said it out loud yet. Now, I want to stop here for a moment because there is something I need to show you that Mark has not looked at properly yet. Something he has been avoiding, the way you avoid the data screen on your fitness app because it has the gaps on it. If you ask Mark how many times he has started something like this, he would probably say 2 or 3 times. This year. If you pushed him further back, asked about the last few years, the picture gets quieter. There are 4 separate start dates in the running app, each one with a slightly optimistic name. The weights in the spare room, and they are still in the carrier bag. Not because he forgot about them, he sees them every time he goes in there. They have simply become part of the room now, like a lamp. The dry January that lasted until the 14th, which was, in fairness, genuinely unavoidable, because there was a leaving do, and the leaving do was in a hotel function room, and there are limits to what a man can reasonably be expected to manage in a hotel function room on a Thursday. The 6 o'clock alarms deleted by 6:15. Mark does not do this calculation dramatically. He is not sitting somewhere catastrophizing. He just finds himself one evening quietly counting. Not just this year, all of it. And for the first time, he is not seeing a collection of individual, reasonable decisions. He is seeing a pattern. The blips didn't beat him. What he concluded about each blip did. And this is the thing that is actually costing him, which has nothing to do with fitness. Every time Mark stops and files it under "that one didn't work," he is leaving himself a small piece of evidence, not about his body, about his character. And after you have left yourself enough pieces of evidence, you start to form a verdict. Not a dramatic one, not a crisis, just a quiet, low-level, background certainty that you are someone who starts things and does not finish them, who makes promises to himself on Sunday evenings that are not worth the kettle it took to make them. And once you know that about yourself, once you have learned it, through repetition, the way you learn anything, starting feels a bit pointless. There is a deflation Mark gets now, just slightly, whenever the subject of habits or exercise comes up. Not cynicism, he is not cynical, more like experience. Then his son mentions he wants to start going to the gym. He is 14. He is at the age where he is starting to care about these things. And Mark says, straight away, "Yeah, mate, I'll go with you," which is a lovely thing to say. Entirely genuine. He means it completely. His wife is standing at the kitchen counter. She does not say anything, but she raises an eyebrow, just slightly, just enough. Mark notices. He does not say anything. Neither does she, but he notices. The people around him had already formed a conclusion. Right, so, here is the thing I actually want to say. Mark does not have a blip problem. He has a response to blips problem. The blips are real. The illness was real. The work deadline was real. The leaving do was, in its way, real. None of those things were invented excuses. They were just life, doing what life does, which is interrupt everything, all the time, without asking permission. The problem is that Mark has been treating every interruption as a verdict, as evidence that the attempt is over. And it was not over. It was just paused. Here is a thought that should be fairly obvious, but apparently is not. A man who has to take a week off work because he is ill does not come back on the Monday and say, "Right, I am starting a new job." He just goes back to work. He continues from where he stopped. The week off was a pause, not a resignation. The same thing is true of anything else worth doing. So here is the practical version, because we are nearly there and I do not want to leave you with just a nice idea. When you miss days, do not count back to day 1. Count forward from today. You are on day 11 with a 3-day gap. You are not on day 1. Day 1 was 11 days ago. You did it. It counts. Decide in advance what your blip response is before the blip happens. Not during it, when everything feels derailed, but now, when you are calm. Injured? You do the version you can do. Brutal week at work? You do the 10-minute version. The response plan should exist before it is needed, not be invented in the wreckage afterwards. Lower the bar for a continuation. Doing something smaller than you planned is not starting again. It is staying in. Staying in is everything. And just Notice the difference between stopping and pausing. Those are not the same thing. Say the word pause, even just in your head. That one word changes what the blip means, because the streak that actually matters is not the unbroken one. Nobody lives an unbroken streak. The streak that matters is the one you kept returning to. Not the longest run, the one he went back to. If my boys take one thing from this video, I hope it is this. You will always be interrupted. That is not bad luck. That is just being alive. The question, the only question that actually matters, is whether you continue from Thursday or wait for another Monday that somehow never quite arrives. The blip is not the end of the attempt. It never was. The only thing that ends the attempt is deciding it is over. And that decision, every single time, is yours. Mark, by the way, he goes out on Wednesday, not Monday. He does not redo week 1. He does not download a new app or create a new start date or give it a name. He just goes. No ceremony, no playlist specially prepared. He is, if anything, slightly annoyed at how ordinary it feels. He was expecting it to feel like more. It is the same street, the same kind of cold morning, the same front door. This time he opens it and walks through. He went on Wednesday. That was the whole thing.